Good morning and a very warm welcome from Falun, the World Championships in both ski jumping, cross-country skiing, Nordic combined, and day 5 of the competitions. Beautiful day here. We've had some, well, rather dull days, some fog hanging over the area, and very warm conditions. Today, it's back to typical Swedish, Scandinavian weather. Open sky, frost, heavy frost last night, and beautiful conditions on the hill and on the tracks. Welcome back to the Nordic combined, the normal hill. It's the Team Gundersen. We've had very warm temperatures lately, but as you can see, in the minus for the first time, minus 1.7. And a good opportunity for us to look at the jump, 93.5 in run. 10.5 angulation before the takeoff at 2.25 meters, and they've done an awful lot of work on this hill to raise this point. The K point, that's the calculation point, 90 meters, and of course it's the 100 hill. The large hill there just to the left, as we see. Now these are the 5 officials. They will be the marking judges. You can see them there, and the 3 average results will be taking from their scores. Just taking part now, starting now in Maribor. It's the women's first leg of the slalom, and Nick and John there for you to cover that one. So plenty of action today at the World Championships and the wider world of winter sport. And we're getting ready to have a look at the start list. You can see the athletes relaxed. You need to be relaxed when you're trying to bring out your best performances. We've seen some of the athletes stretching. We've seen kicking around with the football, practicing their jumps. And an opportunity now to have a look at the teams. Estonia, Finland, Czech Republic, United States, 4. And you can see the 4 athletes there taking part, and that is the order in which they will be jumping. So it's 1 athlete from each of the nations in rotation. First athlete, second athlete, third athlete, as we go down the line on this normal hill Gundersen. Italy with Pitin there, the race of his life, taking the silver medal all the way back from 14th position 2 days ago. So a man on form and inspiration for his team. Japan, well, the Watabe brothers are the stars in that team, but up to the highest ranking, and of course the Olympic champions, Norway. And the jury have a good thorough look and inspection. Test jumpers have been out, and of course we had the trial round earlier, and I can inform you that Jason Lamy Chapuis set the longest jump at 97 meters. Kyle Piho from Estonia, the 23-year-old, gets the competition underway. A face with focus, determination, and well, a nice telemark landing there from flight to stabilize his position. And well, there's the judges. We've had 17, 16, the highest and the lowest taken out. And well, the Piho brothers, number of brothers here, the Watabe brothers, the Fletcher brothers, the Piho brothers. 81 meters to beat. From Mutru now is our happy. Mutru from Lahti, the famous 3 jumps there in Lahti, only 19 years of age. And that's a wonderful performance and a good start for this up-and-coming Finnish team. Peter Kutal next, lining up, 87.5, 88 to beat. $2.75 meters. It's based on your height. You can see the red there from the wind compensation. Automatically the computer builds in the compensation. You can get front wind, you can get the tailwind, and it's the front wind which gives you more rise. So the red light there, so some points deducted with that compensation. Great to see Bill Dumont, 34-year-old World Cup athlete since 2000. Quite the perfect telemark landing from Bill. And compensation 9.9 there of a minus because of the front wind. So the young Mutra is still sitting there with his best jump so far. Costa from Italy. Now the Italian team, are they buoyed with a performance from Pitin? His cross-country skiing efforts were quite amazing, from 14th up into 2nd place. Well, Costa and do beg your pardon, Bill Demong was sick earlier today, so not able to participate. So well, hopefully he will recover soon and be ready for the next competitions. 83.3 kilometers. Not so bad there from Tahai Kato. He's had an 8th, a 10th, a 16th this season so far. The man from Sapporo, North Ireland in Japan. And it was the Norwegians in 1926 going over to Japan to teach the skills of ski jumping, and since then they've been one of the leading nations in the sport. And I think a good start there. Tahai's not sure, but I think 93.5 with 107.8 is a good score. Samuel Costa still in the lead seat. So the French team now, the strong, the confident French team. Oh, wonderful, good distance, and he knows it. Francois Brault. That's a great start for the French team. The French, we see it in so many of the winter sports, in cross-country skiing, in the biathlon. When it comes to team competitions, I think the spirit of the French team for many, many years has lifted the performance when they're working together. 96.5, 116.4, and that was with a negative wind compensation of minus 9.6 points. Well, what can Bernhard Gruber say about that? 32-year-old. Bronze medal in Sochi at the Olympic Games 1 year ago, man on form. Oh, well, 93 meters is pretty good. We'll have to wait and see the points and the wind compensation. But boy, did he look determined, focused, as he set off on his jump. Oh, reaching as far as he possibly can, maybe not getting the perfect telemark landing. 112.2 points, 2nd place. And he's delighted with that. Well, the Austrian team took the gold medal in 2011 in this competition. 95 meters to beat. The in-run 84.1, and delighted Tino Edelman with that performance. German team can't be disappointed with that. Tino, 29-year-old now. 6th in this competition 2 years ago, which was a huge surprise at the time. They were one of the favorites, if not the favorite team at the time, but it didn't go well for them. They had an awful lot of time to pull back. So win compensation, minus 9 points. 2nd place, 112.5. That's a wonderful start. And of course, we've got Fabian Riesle coming up, and Ridzek, man on form, and Eric Frenzel. What can Jürgen Grobak say about all that? 2nd recently in Val di Fiemme. And the gold medal team from Sochi. Well, he's happy. Grobak, you could say stronger in the combined and the cross-country aspect of the Nordic combined. One of the fastest men on the ski track, 5 kilometers coming up later. I think that'll suit him. So Norway reasonably happy, I think. 90.5 wind compensation, so 13 seconds deficit, 106.4. We're happy. he knows he can make time up on the track when needed with his wonderful ski speed. 4 o'clock, unlike 2 days ago, when the athletes only had about an hour to get out of their jumpsuits onto the tracks. There's quick confirmation, and this is after the first of the French team reigning champions from Val de Fiemme 2 years ago. And already we're on to the second leg athletes with Carl Auguste Tierma, 25-year-old from Otapa. Off he goes into position, tucking low, keeping as low as possible. It's good speed off the table. Teach someone to jump off a 100-meter jump or even the large hill jump. Well, it's progressive. It's done from a young age. All these athletes know each other so well. They live and train, and of course when it's a jump you're with fellow athletes all the time. Finland, 8th in Val de Fiemme. Whoa, compensation left and right, and I think perfect landing and a shake of the head. Such a disappointment. The wind compensation or negative compensation, 7.8 points, and could not have been, well, much worse for the 24-year-old from Rovaniemi, right up there in the Arctic Circle. Czech Republic, Lukáš Ripl, the 23-year-old from Liberec, world champs there in 2009. Well, it fell short of maybe what he had hoped for. To be in the telemark fashion for perfect points. Well, 80.5 and plus 20 seconds. And you just feel by the spirit there, Ripl felt it might have been better. But hopefully his teammates can pull something back. Adam Loomis, the Flying Eagles Ski Club. 20th in Ramsau, just before Christmas. Now, what can he do, the man from the Flying Eagles Ski Club? Well balanced there, Adam, on your landing, and the smile speaks for the jump. Plus 1 second. Good performance there from Adam. Lukáš Rungaldier just lining up now. A good start from the Italian team, and I think Samuel Costa led the way with a positive start. Thinking of changing the start gate, of course it was gate 19, as Rungaldier, well, he thinks it might have been better, it could have been worse, and it is what it is at that particular moment in time. Rungaldier there just not too sure, could have been better. So Nagai, the second of the Italians. Oh, 31-year-old experienced, a good jumper, and he showed us exactly how happy he is in the second leg for the Japanese team.
Bernhard Gruber, nach dem Einzel der Ausruf des Entsetzens nach dem Springen. Heute sieht es deutlich besser aus.
Ja, ich sage mal, es ist ein versöhnlicher Abschluss. Ich habe jetzt sicher einen besten Sprung auf der Schanzen gezeigt und das gerade im Wettkampf. Das passt mir gut. Jetzt hoffe ich, jetzt werde ich Daumen drücken für meine Kollegen, dass sie es also gut machen.
Damit ihr zurückkommt in die Medaillenpositionen, das ist sicherlich anvisiert.
Ja, definitiv. Also, wir wollen einfach einen guten Job machen und dann sehen wir, was rauskommt.
Danke, Bernhard.
Well, thank you, Bernhard Gruber, for that little insight. He was anxious, he was very nervous at the start, but they're going for a medal. He said it, they want it. And certainly the Austrian team, historically a good team in this World Championships competition. World Olympic champions back in 2006 and world champions in Oslo 2011. And hopefully a chance to pick up from the French team. The spirits are high. Francois Bro having the first jump there, the first leg competitor. And hopefully we'll get a chance to pick up with Francois after this jump. To beat 91.5 meters, explosive off the table, slight movement in flight. Yes, we are happy. Philipp Orter there, second jumper for the Austrian team, is a happy man.
Also, very good first jump. You're leading, the French guys are leading. That was the tactics.
Francois Bro.
Oui, c'était pour moi de confirmer mes sauts d'entraînement pour lancer la France. J'ai fait un super saut, donc j'espère que les copains vont faire de même.
Bonne chance, merci.
Interesting there from Francois. He did a great jump, he certainly did, and that is a great start for the French team. Philipp Orter there, the jump competition on and off over a 3.5-hour period, and a little unsettling for the jumpers, but they're well accustomed to the setbacks and deal with it very well, keeping their focus. Explosive, looking very, very good in flight. Well, Fabien Riesle, 24-year-old, 2-time second positions this year in the World Cup. 9th, as I said, in the 10-kilometer 2 days ago, but a fantastic jumper. Little compensation there from his left hand, just twisting left and right to stabilize his flight. And it's a good landing. Yes. Germany must be feeling quite confident. -3 seconds, not a problem at this stage. Compensation was 11.59 points, sorry, for the wind compensation. And that's all computerized, taking into compensation the strength from the left, the right, from the front, as Mikko Kokslane, the man from Lillehammer, shows us how to do it. His left hand slightly angled on the jump. Yes, slightly wider arm stance there in flight. And Mikko seems delighted so far. So 91, and it is good for the Norwegian, the man from Lillehammer. The legacy of the Olympic Games there in 1994. I was there competing in biathlon, and he's been brought up with that legacy. The facilities are fantastic there. Well, it's time for a very quick break here from Falun, but we'll be back with the rest of the jumpers shortly. Welcome back, and a chance just to remind us at the moment of the standings. Germany looking good, but it's a 3-second advantage at the moment to... Well, that's interesting from Sébastien Lecoy. He's happy, he's very happy. He thought it was a very good jump, but I think he's absolutely right in saying it's extremely close. 5 seconds separating the first 4 teams. Christian Ilves underway, explosive off the table. Can he hold the flight? Looking good, looking good. Slight slip out there on his right ski. Country skiing tracks. 4 times 5 kilometers. Well, 91 meters jumped, -127, but remember, one team has jumped 3, and of course this is the second of the third leg jumpers to take off from the hill. Hertul from Finland. '87, not great, not bad. In the middle for Hertul. Well, that was Tino Edelman making his way back to the team hut. Final checks there, the all-important checks. You can see the raised heel there, allowing the lean forward in flight. 84 kilometers off the end of the table. The speed is good. Well, in the Czech team. 90 meters. for Miroslav. So next up it's Taylor Fletcher, the man from Steamboat Springs in Colorado. Let's just hope that this can go very well indeed. 6th in the team competition in Sochi. And 3rd in the last World Championships in Val di Fiemme. And Taylor reaching 90 meters. Wind was strong. You can see the red there, the compensation, 13.7 points. Good performance. Italy looked like a team inspired by Pitin, his performance, the silver medal 2 days ago in the 10-kilometer. Armin Bauer's turn. Now the jury deciding no, that it's all going ahead. He's on the in run, explosive off the table, 83, not quite the speed we've seen some of the athletes off the end of the jump. Yeah. Total score of 291.4, and remember, just one athlete to jump from the Italian team, and it's Mr. Alessandro Pitin to jump last, coming up later for the Italian team. Can he bring his magic to the jumping again? Akito Watabe. Japan looking good so far today, and we know that Watabe brothers jump so well. Yes, yes. This is their strength, the determination. Well, that little stumble hopefully won't put him off much for his cross-country skiing. Job done here off the jump, and job done extremely well, I must say, from Akito. 5th in Sochi at the Olympic Games in the team competition. Yes. Well, that was a quick look at Yoshito Watabe, younger brother, still to jump. Maxime, and again, just to build up his mental strength, stabilize, go through all these pre-jump routines, and you have to keep to what you know. It centers yourself for the perfect jump today. Of course, in the old days, the arms would be in front of you on the in-run and in flight, but jumping has moved a long way, and techniques have evolved over the years. 92 meters. Explosive, the timing perfect off the table. Little movement there from the right hand to compensate from that awkward, difficult wind. And the face is one of total concentration, determination to take it as far, to risk as much as he can. And 322.5 points. 23 seconds behind the Japanese from that wonderful jump of Akito Watabe. Austria next. Seb Schneider, the young and talented man from Vorarlberg. Very good. Very good indeed. So can the Austrians show us the magic from past years that this team has had? World Championships 2011, their last gold medal at World Championships, and of course the Olympic champions the year before in Vancouver at the Olympic Games in Canada. Yes, happy. 12 seconds, so that'll be 12 seconds. You can see it there, plus 12.
3 on the bar, next jumper, 10.
Yes, 4th the Japanese team. 2 years ago in Val di Fiemme. We're off. The flags had settled. Not the fastest speed off the end table, but it's a wonderful jump. Absolutely wonderful there from Rydzek. He's a man on form, a man on fire. And his concentration was broken a couple of times there. His coach not allowing him to jump, coming back off the jump and then refocusing. But Johannes Rydzek has created another little bit of magic. Well, And not quite up with the Japanese team, still 1 second, but they know the German team will realise, and I think it'll be quick. There's a window of opportunity, and Magnus will go through his pre-jump checks, which he's doing, checking the boots, the goggles, the helmets. A little wiggle, take the tension out of the body, swallow, nerves and tension, but he doesn't have much more time to think about it. He's psyched up, he needs a good jump here to keep Norway in this one. Well, he's not renowned for his long jumps, but I think that went well. He's looking happy. Well done, Magnus Moen. Disturbed in his build-up, and that is excellent. Well done, Magnus Moen. Maybe the wind, it was a strong front wind. Look at his shoulders in flight. Rotating left, rotating right, and I think he did very well there with a difficult wind. Yep, you were flying. And there's the compensation, reducing for the wind, and not Team Norway. 42 seconds behind at the moment, but I would expect Håvard Clemensen, the last to jump today, may pull that back a little. Well, after 3 of the 4 jumpers in each of the teams, it's Japan ahead of Germany, ahead of Austria, and Austria only 12 seconds behind. France still in the hunt, in the race at minus 23 seconds, or plus 23 seconds, and his best was excellent. His best was world-beating. Han-Henrik Piho, the older of the Piho brothers. And hopefully we'll have an opportunity to catch up with Johannes Riedzek from Germany to see how his jump. And I beg your pardon, of course, Han-Henrik is the younger Piho brother. About to get underway, the 21-year-old. Likes snowboarding, and at the moment he'd love to be a winner and break his personal best, but
ja, ich wusste, die Bedingungen sind jetzt nicht schlimm, also schöner Aufwind, und ich habe mich jetzt richtig auf den Sprung gefreut, und ich denke, das hat man gesehen.
Nach wie vor eine super Ausgangsposition, alles sehr nah zusammen, die Japaner, die Österreicher, die Franzosen und wohl auch die Norweger.
Ja, es wird auf jeden Fall ein heißer Kampf auf der Strecke. Jetzt schauen wir mal, wie die Letzten noch runterkommen, und dann werden wir in der Strecke alles geben.
Danke, alles Gute.
Jump there as we were catching up with Ridzek. Minus 22 at the moment, 83 meters, Herola. Well, he did what he could. He did as best he could, and I think the wind over this last 2, 3, 4 minutes has been more difficult than we've seen throughout the rest of the day, the previous parts of the day, as Thomas Porcik. Yes, sorry, I thought he was going to be held there, but the 18-year-old is underway, and 82.8 kilometers an hour as he takes off. I think hopefully the points will reflect that. Yes, they do. 18, 18, one of the 18's taken away. Well done. So and Thomas Porcik in the champion's chair at the moment, leading the way, and that is because 4 of their jumpers have already jumped. And Brian Fletcher ready to go. That steely, determined look, and he's off. He's off. He had to let it go. The windows of opportunity have to be grasped. Oh, well. And that was partly due to the wind from the left there affecting him in the final 20 meters of flight. Well, Brian, you did well there to hold your nerve, and well done to Brian Fletcher. Alessandro Pittin, silver medalist from 2 days ago, and he skied so fast. He had a deficit of 1 minute 16. That was on the leader Eric Frenzel, but he had a huge deficit on Ridzek, caught him up, but then was surpassed in the final 100 meters to take the silver medal. Very short figure of Alessandro has affected many. 87.5 wind compensation points, 14.5 to the minus, and 10 seconds. So Yoshito Watabe, his final checks. Helmet, goggles, strap, usual final pre-jump checks. It's habit for all of these athletes, Nordic combiners as well as ski jumpers. So, well, he's been held a long time. Hopefully this won't affect Yoshito Watabe. So, in run, looking good, explosive off the table, 82.1, not the fastest, but it's a good jump. It's a good jump, not quite as good as his brothers, Akito Watabe, I suspect. Look at that angulation in flight, and the rigid, stiff arms, the hands slightly assisting on flight. You just sense he's not happy. It's good, but he's not happy. 90.5 meters. He felt it could have scored more points there, but 123 ahead of Italy. Very quickly off the jump and not held for any length of time is Jason Lamy Chapuis. 82.6 off the jump, and that was a brilliant jump there from the French team and Jason Lamy Chapuis. Could that take them ahead of the Japanese team? Has Jason brought the magic after his setbacks and injuries? The magic back to this high-spirited French team? I think he has. Oh, holding and holding. Well done, 97.5. He did set the longest jump in training earlier, and that's but head coach has to make the call. So Lukas Klapfer going through the final pre-jump checks, and he's off, no messing, straight into action. Needs to beat 95 meters. It's not going to happen. Well, Lukas Klapfer, Austria, can they bring the magic back from the World Championships 2011 where they took gold medal? I'm not sure they can. It's a good team, but they needed possibly better than an 86 there, and it's 24 seconds deficit at the moment. Definitely in the hunt, definitely in the race. And Eric Frenzel, no messing, no mucking about, straight into action. 82.6 in terms of speed off the jump. I think it's good. He must be feeling pretty bad from his fourth place, Eric. Leading the World Cup by a massive margin, some 241 points. He'll get all the crystal globes, I think, at the World Cup, but he just lost his magic 2 days ago. This is looking good. Some of that magic is coming back, and 92.5, it's very good indeed, and 4 seconds deficit. I beg your pardon, 4 seconds advantage over Japan. So Germany at the moment leading the way. What can Håvard Clemensen do to turn that around, to put the Norwegian team closer or even ahead of Germany? He needs a good flight. Yes, it is, as usual. Clemensen giving the best on the hill. They had a deficit of 42 seconds. What has he managed to give Team Norway? They're fast on the ski tracks. He's not the fastest, but he is the happiest man from Norway at the moment. So impressed. Could he pull 42 seconds back? Has he pulled 42 seconds back? We'll have to just wait and see. By my calculation, it's going to be close. Look at this, he holds his nerve. I think it's over 100. I think it's close to 101. And if so, that is an outstanding performance. We saw Jason Lamy Chapuis give us 97. Just doing all the calculations, holding. Well, it was 42. They're still to the plus. The wind, he's lost 15.6. His jump, yes, it was brilliant. The distance was amazing. 28 seconds behind, and that's a good pullback there for Team Norway. We're going to have to leave rather quickly after this. As we see Eric Frenzel in the champions chair. So it's Germany, Japan, France, Austria. You can see the time deficit there on the right, and that's the time they'll be setting off behind Team Germany later this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Well, as I mentioned, we're going to have to take a very quick break. Super G from Saalbach in Austria just coming up after this. This afternoon is Germany, Japan, France, Austria and Norway in the Nordic combined.
4 o'clock